By Intel, Vodafone, the Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA. Vodafone presents the pre-match.
A domesticated matchup brought all the way here to the lovely city of Odense, where it's a little chilly outside, but these next two teams are sure to heat it up. We have a trending Ghost Gaming, who have come here on the backs of a fantastic regular season performance, versus an NRG who saw defeat yesterday at the hands of MIBR. Very close affair, but nonetheless, they will be squaring off on what could be three maps. As we look into our first best of three of the day, and I can't do it by myself, so we're going to have to bring in these other two. We got Natu and Pimp back at it again, back on their nonsense. Guys, welcome back.
Thank you.
Got a matchup. We got a first one of the day. It's best of three. Could go to all three. Could go to two. What are you guys feeling?
I think this is going to be... I'm not going to write off Ghost right away. I think Ghost is a great team, and I think, as you said, they've had a great season, and they're coming into this tournament being this, I often talk about it as being the major. This is a team that plays for the Pro League Finals. This is a team that doesn't go to the majors of obvious reasons, but them being here, right, is a big thing for them. It's a very big thing for them. So I think they're going to be as prepared as they can be. I just think that NRG is better pound for pound, and as a team, they have more experience, so I'm having a hard time seeing how to justify Ghost Gaming winning.
Yeah, I mean, the win conditions are basically for Ghost in this kind of matchup is that they make a lot of right choices, basically, that they read plays correctly, and that's kind of been their forte as well. I feel like every matchup where they have a lot of material to go through, they seem to be very competent. So that's a good sign. Obviously, they know each other really well. They played one another plenty of times recently. So that, like I've said before as well, there's always a bit of its own metagame between teams when they start playing each other plenty of times. Yeah. And then you start you can play around that. You can start kind of making a little bit of mind games here and there. Also, that can be something that screws you over, though. If you start overthinking things, then that's not a great plan either. So yeah, I think this should be, if you look at the numbers, it should be like, a nail-biting three mapper. I feel like so far in these matchups, Ghost has usually made a couple of fundamental mistakes in close rounds that has basically lost in the game. So that's something that they need to really look into. Mid rounds, don't make bad calls.
Well, losing games is not something that Ghost Gaming wants to do, but we did have a chance to hear from Steel going into today's matchup, and it should be a very interesting piece. So make sure you have your headphones pulled ever so close.
I don't think there's ever a point where I said Counter-Strike's not a thing I want to do. Despite any hardships that you'll go through with one team not working out, or players not working out on a team, or failing at an event, or anything else, I think that competition is something that's deep-rooted in me. So I feel like Counter-Strike, I guess, scratches that itch the best out of any other game I've played, or more than any other competition I've played. I think Neptune's kind of like an anomaly when it comes to younger players. With someone 16 years old, you're going to expect someone that's immature. But for Neptune, he's like a 24-year-old in terms of maturity, even though he's 16 years old. So he never gives any issue when it comes to attitude or pushback or anything. You tell him something, you give him feedback, he's just gonna listen to the message and be okay, and then he'll work on it, and you'll see within the next week or two, you can see him applying it. I think that's a really cool thing that I think a lot of other 16-year-olds wouldn't do. I think there's a lot of things that I see that I don't think is good enough. And this has actually become kind of a meme on the team now, because if we do something wrong, then they'll say NGE or not good enough, because they know that I'm gonna say it. I really feel like we should be trying to get to as close to perfect as possible, and I feel whatever we're doing in the moment, especially the last few weeks, it just hasn't been good enough. What would make me happy would be that there's clear progress that's being made. So even if we lose here, but we lose with our heads up high, because we know that we put in 100% effort, and we didn't lose because we did the same mistakes that we cost us other events. We learned from those, we fixed them, we progressed, and the other teams were just simply better today. And we could see that we made progress and there's something to be proud about. That would make me happy.
Ghost Gaming not starting off the tournament exactly how they wanted to, with a pretty decent deficit in there and a 16-5 defeat to Mouse Sports. But you could definitely hear the voice and the tone there of Steel, who thinks that they can bounce back and is very optimistic to see the results of this team coming out after it's all said and done.
Very, very mature approach, for sure. I mean, he's already a veteran on the game. I think he's a good leader for this team. Obviously, he's trying to teach these younger, less known players to have the right fundamentals in the game of Counter-Strike, and I think so far it has gone well. I mean, obviously it's not going to only be progression, it's not only going to be going upward all the time. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster, and obviously that's what we've being seen so far. And
that's what's going to be fun to see with this whole Ghost project. You know, how far is the limit and how hard can that be reached up? You know, one thing is being perfect with what you got, but if the individual skill in the team doesn't reach further than, you know, being a top 5 team in NA, then what are you going to do even though you play the perfect game? So I want to see these individuals of the team also step up. I really do like the way that he approached the game. I really do like the way that he attests to the fact that it is a team game and he wants them to play as a unit, but there's only so much to be said about that as well. If you don't have the individual skill to back that up, playing teams like Na'Vi, playing teams like Astralis, playing Liquid in the NA region, you're going to have a tough time regardless.
Yeah, you might not have a whole lot to show for yourself if you don't have it all put together. But one thing we could start to show here is the vetoes. We're not in that big of a hurry, but we do know that Inferno and Cash will be the first 2 maps of this best of 3. Now, there's a very interesting concept over there in terms of how these teams actually do play against one another constantly.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that Cash was let through here. NRG decided to go away from Dust 2, which means that, you know, they're opting and allowing Ghost to go in for this Cash pick. And last time we've seen NRG play Cash has been twice against North, and they lost both times. Both those games were a little bit, you know, I would say a little bit unnormally in the way that NRG were leading 9-2 in both games and then all of a sudden went on a big losing streak and ending up losing the game to North. So I'm not sure whether that's just them having a problem playing against North on the map Cash or if they are just not feeling comfortable playing Cash in general. But it does tell me quite a story that they're willing to, you know, deviate from the route they did at Summit and allow Cash to be picked by Ghost, because that is one of their strong maps.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Ghost has gone for Train a lot of the times. I feel like they maybe think that they just want to try something else. I mean, at the same time, they do have a pretty okay track record on Cash recently. I mean, it's teams like Order, Vitality, King, and Renegades, MIBR, but they won all those games. So that's I think that's a solid way to approach things.
I definitely agree, and that's also why you have seen NRG remove Cash in the other leaders they've played against each other, because they do know that Ghost's strongest asset is the map of Cash.
But then maybe you think NRG has something up their sleeve.
Well, they might actually, but as we take a look into our first map of the series, it's going to be Inferno. We should also take a look into the storytellers behind it. We do have our commentators sitting by, ready to go and ready to get into this best of 3, but we had to give them some time to chill off. We do have a little bit of Hugo, Byron, and Harry Russell, or just Harry as we call him around here. Guys, good morning.
Morning, Trace. How are you feeling on this wonderful morning?
Wait.
You, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm feeling great. I'm just distracted by all the yelling. There's a lot going on in the background. Couldn't really hear my own thoughts there. Nonetheless, guys, we're going to get into this game pretty quickly. Give me an overview here going into the first map of Inferno.
I think it's going to be tense. I think it's going to be close. I think NRG are the better and the stronger individuals. It's going to be an NRG victory.
It's going to be close, but I think NRG is going to take it.
Well, NRG could take it, or it could be Ghost Gaming taking it to the house. And we're going to find out in due time. Jumping into our first map of Inferno is now Ghost Gaming versus NRG. It's going to be Harry and Hugo. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I am personally very much looking forward to this one, Hugo. I don't know how you're feeling about it, but a bit of Inferno to kickstart the day. Well, let's get into this one. You can already see those betway odds very much going to be leaning in favor of NRG, surprisingly. I figured this would be a little bit closer off the bat, but you can already see NRG, they're feeling confident. They're straight down through mid. Couple of players here. They're going to try and take the fight down here in alt mid. Cirque, he's up in the apartments. Now, Ethan was dropped early on, but Breezy instantly able to go ahead and find them a 4-on-4 once again. Oh, he's not content with one. He's going to go ahead and pick up a quick double. The bomb has been retrieved at the very, very least. Wardell's done what he can to make it a 3-on-3. It's been a very, very fast start to the pistol round.
Yeah, this is NRG really believing in the individuals to shine through in this matchup, and a fantastic start from them. Breezy, oh, he won't expect the corner, but he's going to do enough damage and get the info. Will eventually fall back, allow Fugly to swoop in and drop that bomb. And I mean, you could see the confidence in Chet prior to this game in that interview with James Banks, right? And they were just saying, we're going to win this, we're going to win it dominantly. And obviously, they're all looking very good right now. Another man who's looking very good on our screens is Bastion, our lovely observer. Give us a wave. Oh, he's already gone. Don't give us a wave.
He didn't even get a chance, but you know what? Speaking of waves, this has been a bit of a tidal wave round from NRG as they go ahead and just completely knock down Ghost. They take the aggression, they take the fights, and they find themselves the pissed around. Very, very confident straight off the bat. And I think that's what, that's a great way to play versus this Ghost roster. You can't give them the respect that they need to find success. You got Steel as the IGL there. He's saying how they've been working a lot on, he's a very big perfectionist, is Steel. You would kind of know that, he's a big fan of making sure his team's very, very well drilled. So if you're able to get off to that sort of start where you just rush them down, catch them before they've really had a chance to throw, what they want to do out there, then you do catch them off guard. And that's exactly what we see in that pissed around. NRG now going to be given a chance to try and get ahead early on. You can see Steel's gone for some utility here, and as has Kuster.
One thing you have to remember is the way NRG might be looking at this is, okay, Ghost, the reason they're so good is because they prepare really well. They manage to upset via, anti-stratting and having really nice setups. Now, individually, obviously, these players are very good, but if you look at the likes of NRG, we have some of the best players in their entire region and some real upcoming stars as well. So, man for man, NRG definitely has the firepower, and that's probably what they want to flex in this game.
And I mean, you think about the setting up for the B play right now. We'll go back to that in a moment, because right now you can see they have the 2 smokes. That's kind of the perfect amount that you'd want for this B bomb. So you got one for CT. You can go ahead and drop another over at Coffins, and then that kind of cuts off the majority. You can see that's where Ethan and Fugly are playing right now. These smokes come in a little bit too late, though. It does allow Ethan to find himself one, and a lot of damage onto Neptune. Fugly's still here, but won't be able to deny that bomb plant as Cirque comes rotating around to try and help him out. Daps is the man rotating up through Banana. He's got to try and win some of these fights, though, because there is 2 players here. That nade's going to go to dunk onto Wardell. Rest of the guys are over towards Ruins, so they are kind of hoping that Daps can deal with these players at Banana all on his lonesome, but he's not having an issue right now. He's going to go ahead and drop absolutely everyone. NRG, they recover nicely, they keep it pretty clean, and they lock in that second round.
Yeah, very clean, very well executed, all on the same page there, and that's important. You can see the hesitation going back into the B bomb site, even though you're only up against P250s there on essentially the post plant for the terrorist side. I mean, it is still dangerous. The thing is with Inferno B site is once you're retaking your CTs, even in a 4-on-4, the second 1 kill comes out from Ghost, that's when things start to fall apart, because crossfires, man advantages, guns getting picked up, all these little factors you have to remain aware of. So NRG deal with the threat quite well. We will have Ghost buying up in this 3rd round. They're going to have everything they need, Harry.
Yeah, and I mean, that's sort of the mental thing, because you saw quite a heavy investment in the round prior. They're very, very confident in their ability to get that bomb down, because that was almost required to get this sort of buy in this round. You would have had Wardell with enough money to get himself a rifle, a couple of the other guys as well, but Kuster and Steel would have been very, very strapped for cash. We can see now that because they get that bomb down, they have everything they possibly need. Wardell's even got the AWP out. And already, lots more aggression this time from Ghost over towards this apartments area, not allowing any early information to come through from NRG. Instead, you've got Ethan locking down Banana all on his lonesome, and that has freed up 4 players to rotate over here toward this A bomb site. One issue you might run into if you are NRG is you've attempted the bonus round here. You haven't reinvested, so you've only got that UMP on Ethan. He's going to have to really work overtime down on Banana to try and hold back Ghost if they do come this way. Just jump spot him for the information over the half wall. What this means, if he sees anyone, he can just pull back. He can go ahead and drop that smoke that he's got as well to delay a play on up. And that's what's going to happen now. Maybe that's going to prompt the rotation out from Cirque back toward this B-bomb site.
Yeah, Fugly would probably be a better man considering he has that rifle. And in fact, both of them are going to fall on into the CT spawn. I imagine one will commit here. The smoke goes down a little bit closer, so not wanting to hold on to Banana, rather than just give the top away to Ghost. And they're going to be happy with the map control. But the problem is, Harry, there's only 30 seconds left. Very clear B commitment for Ghost. And they've still got that lurk up on A in the form of Kuster. But these guys have got to go through that smoke as it starts to fade. They cut off Fugly. The nade goes in deep. We've still got Ethan up close to the SMG, but they're not going to be able to get on the bomb site here. The reload comes in, which creates space for Ghost. But with how passive that Cirque is playing in the spawn, he might be able to peek at the perfect time. He can't stop the bomb, but he can get one. Not expecting the aggressive position from Sub Rosa, though. And now Ghost in a great position, but Fugly's still at the bomb site.
Yeah, Kuster's allowed to go ahead and deny those rotations. It now really does fall onto Fugly, who's got unnoticed for the time being. Now they know where he is, though. Now they know that Fugly's here. As he roars to life, picks up that first man. Time is ticking down. NRG, they know they have to get a move on. And Wardell, he's applied the brakes. Only Breezy left standing, and he will get knocked down, get the wind knocked out of him by Sabrosa. So Ghost going to be picking up their first round early on here. They win out that first rifle. It was the bonus in the previous from NRG, so they can, you know, dabble in a buy here. But you look at Ethan and Fugly, they're a little bit strapped for cash, all things considered. Yeah,
really nice round from Kuster as well, getting that one crucial kill on A, which not only delays the push up here, as you can see, but also takes down a 1-for-1. And, you know, when Ghost already have that bomb down, the players are only just leaving the A site, and Kuster adds on another 5-10 seconds, that can really screw over your chances of retaking. Nearly impossible there for Fugly, not being able to get it done. But we do have the buy here for NRG regardless, looking to try and find a reset. Steele's holding onto the angle. Cirque tries to go for that window peek, but instead gets put down to 30 HP. Certainly not the start you would want from your AWP player. And Kuster, now that he knows there was a man in the apartments, they're going to try and cut him off. The hallways are clear though, and NRG have fallen back to a little bit more passive setup here on the CT side, while Sabrosa works that B site. Cirque's going to be just tasked with watching from the cart on short. And Ghost, once again up this top B position, they could just pull back Neptune and go for the same execute they showed in the previous round. That would work fairly well considering the setup from NRG, and they even spot Ethan back up playing for info on that pixel gap.
Yeah, he's able to just dodge left and right with his knife out, go ahead and grab the info. Fugly throws down that smoke, and Daps has actually gone ahead and rotated onto Speedway, so he's going to be nearby very, very quickly. Ethan's holding from CT, but when these smokes go raiding in, he will get cut off. Sabrosa, first man in. Oh, he's gotten by. The flash doesn't actually clear from Ethan, so they don't know that there's a man here. Sabrosa does finally get spotted, and Ethan, MP9 King, going to go to find himself 3 there. And that might be enough for NRG. Kuster's a long way from home, and he's going to go ahead and take one of the dome. Now just Wardell left standing. He's got the AWP. The bomb's going to go down. Ooh, but he takes a tag in through that smoke. Not able to find much more. Is Breezy. Now rotating round. Wardell in a 1v2 and the bomb. Having to act like the other teammate for him. And he's just waiting. NRG doing a great job not overextending here, not giving anything up. They're going to try and peek into this together. Oh, they almost line up. Wardell's good for one. Tags down Daps. Both players brought down to their knees, but Wardell just playing with his food. Daps has to pick up the pace, and he will manage to find the kill. Has a kit as well. There's enough time left to grab the defuse. And
everyone getting flashbanged here.
Yeah, even us. Even Bastion's not safe from the flashes that Daps is throwing out.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice round from Ghost in an attempt, but NRG made a really sick call. The difference is in the previous round where they went for the same execute, Kuster, he lurked middle and came out at the right time to kill a rotator. In this one, he actually threw a full volley of utility out that apartments position to try and keep NRG on this 3-man A setup, which allowed Ghost to walk into B. But as we saw, we had this rotation, we had an extra man over on B, and that really made things hard to get into the site there for Ghost. So Kuster again getting a 1-for-1, but the fake was not enough. Ghost are going to be getting reset into this round, and now we have pistols and a couple of Galils. Definitely not a perfect buy for Ghost. Far from it, in fact. These SMGs not clearly being a problem for NRG right now, making good work of them. One more on Fugly, but everyone else starting to get a little bit more equipped here on the CT side. Need to make sure they have those kits, and 2 of them in play. A solo B setup for Ethan. Not seeing that AWP put in a position to lock it down, though.
No, that's what I was going to say about NRG. They are one of the teams that really springs to mind when you think about how they play this map. It is a little bit different to how most other teams do, in the sense that their AWP isn't the B-bomb site man. Usually it's a very, very strong position. Instead, they normally have Ethan locking it down on his lonesome. And that frees up Cirque to play over here on A with this AWP. That's where Ghost currently reside. And if they do continue with this, they're going to be walking into a 4-man stack just with this, you know, cobbled together buy that they've gone for. They're going to start to execute. They're going to start to push on in. Breezy's up here on the balcony, and actually, Daps is the man to open things up. Kuster answers back, and they do manage to secure this bomb site, unless Cirque has something to say about it, which it looks like he does right now. That bomb's been dropped, and Wardell's left in a 1v2. He has at least been able to grab this M4. He has something to fight with, and he has the info as to where Cirque resides. Both players now grouped up here, Ethan and Cirque, back to back. Well, Wardell, only 15 seconds left on that clock as of right now. But that's going to help him a bit.
Oh, not exactly. It's going to allow them to close the distance, get back into that bomb site and get the retake. The smoke actually just cuts off Wardell's line of sight. So while it's good in the sense he can go into the open, pick up the bomb, it means he has no info as to where NRG are. They have to peek a very open, long position, but instead they can just close the gap. And right now, Harry, it's looking like NRG have done their homework in this game. 2 rounds in a row, having the correct reads on what Ghost are throwing in and the right bomb stacks as well. We had 4 players on that A site, and even though we get into that awkward 2v2 where these pistols are upgraded for Ghost, Cirque, the fact that he's still on A means he can peek library and get a man advantage kill to put Wardell in that 1v2. So very impactful there, and coming through with another round for NRG has made Ghost just down to pistols this time. Not going to be forcing, got to wait for that loss bonus to kick in, and this should be a 5-1.
Yeah, definitely should. There really shouldn't be any love for Ghost Gaming here. And Daps, he certainly doesn't have any love for them. He's got into the apartments, he's opened things up, and yeah, this round should just be a clean one for NRG. The question now really becomes is, can Ghost find anything? A bomb plant, a couple of kills here and there. Sabrosa is good for 1, and now he's got an M4 to work with. But a 2 versus 4 right now for Ghost Gaming, and they're up in the apartments. NRG with 3 players inside of this A bomb site. Not going to be an easy task, especially with no armor, no utility really, aside from that incendiary on Sabrosa retrieved from the body of Breezy. So they will be slowing down, and they don't really have the option to hit that B bomb site, just on account of Ethan playing that jump peak position over towards the half wall. So it will be telegraphed. It would be cool if Daps, he's even spotted out the man over in Boiler, won't get away scot-free, but luckily enough, Kusta's been dropped, and now Sabrosa falls shortly after. See, NRG 5-1, exactly as we expected. And 4 players staying alive for NRG. But yeah, I mean, Hugo, you were dead on. One of the things you kind of touched on is Cirque playing over towards A bomb site. NRG are one of the teams that really do spring to mind, that they do just have him consistently on A. They don't use the AWP to lock down Banana in the same way that we see a lot of teams do. You think, MIBR, you kind of know that, they like to throw Fallen over towards that B bomb site to lock it down. Astralis, same with Device in that sense. So,
and I mean, that's fine, but you got to always remember, if you lose that B site and you have an AWP on the retake, that's really going to make things difficult.
Exactly.
Obviously, AWPs on the retake are not great, but you can make them work on certain maps and certain positions. However, Inferno B site, there's no angles you can really employ unless they're peeking you from CT, and that's rarely going to happen when you can establish so many crossfires in that B bomb site.
We can't keep our eye on this change though. Cirque has rotated into that B bomb site this time around. And they're wrapping in through CT, so he's going to have his work cut out for him here as he comes face to face with his demon. Cirque has to go above and beyond, and he has to show that he's the real devil in this round. Holding the position right now and locking it down the speedway. Ethan going to start to rotate round as well, and there have been speed limits imposed on the back of Cirque. Sabrosa picks up Ethan. Now they know that they've weakened this B bomb set. There's only Cirque left standing here, so they're going to turn back around and try and head towards it. Cirque spots the shadow, does get caught on the pillar, and now they should have the read that this bomb site is clear. Kusta doing a great job once again of keeping these players busy. Oh, but the bomb's gone back. Breezy's found both. That's the bomb dropped, and now it is just Sabrosa left in a 1v2.
Fallen apart there for Ghost. They had everything. They had that B site open for taking, but instead sending that bomb back to try and assist Kusta on the fight. They had the information on one player. They wanted to finish off the job. Now Sabrosa, he's got to show us what he's made of here. Does get spotted on long. Breezy's going to find it. And just like that, NRG get rid of another rifle round from Ghost, making it look easy there. And, even though we're not having necessarily anyone go huge, it's typically these 1-for-1 trades. It just shows that we're getting a good game of CS. Both these teams are very much ready to play each other. Unfortunately for Ghost, though, NRG seem a little bit too ready. 6-1 scoreline here. No money for Ghost once again, and Breezy with another big round coming through. This man was such a demon yesterday up against MIBR. Him and Ethan were tearing them apart. Crazy to think they actually lost that game in the end. MIBR pulled a ridiculous comeback to bring it to overtime and actually took that 3rd and final map, but NRG, they certainly look up for the task today. Obviously, for those unaware, the loser of this best of 3 will be eliminated in the lower bracket. Only 3 teams can get through these groups. And this win would potentially, not necessarily guarantee an exit over to the playoffs, but one more game away from that. Ethan, he's got to be careful on B. They're rushing him down. He's got a teammate beginning to rotate, and Ghost will slow things just to a standstill. That's going to give NRG ample time to set up here. Smoke goes down. That slows things off. And just like that, Ghost are going to look to abuse the gap. The flashbang through. They're only on pistols after all, but that could be their problem. Fugly's found 2 and dropped the bomb deep in the spawn. Ethan's defending the back of the site with his life as well, but that's what it will cost him. He goes down eventually. Steel's even picked up another gun, and things are getting awkward here on the B site.
They most certainly are. These players have armor behind them as well. This bomb can look to go down, but it's on the back of Steel. If he falls here, and so do Ghost Gaming's hope of really locking this one in. NRG, they have taken their foot off the gas a bit. They're not going as quickly into this as perhaps it might have looked initially. Steel now going to be plugging in those numbers. The bomb does go down, and they're not quite able to find him as he tries to pull back. Kusta from behind the fountain finds himself a quick double, and now things get very awkward for Breezy. Suddenly left and thrust into this 1v2. Not what he asked for, not what he wanted, but now he's going to step up and try and make the best out of this situation. And while he does isolate that initial fight onto Kusta, Steel is there to go ahead and trade things out. The AWP's retrieved, the Ghost, their second round locked in.
And that's a really nice angle from Kusta as well. I feel like I'm mentioning him every round, but he sits behind the fountain at such an angle that anyone coming out from Ruins is not going to see him behind the fountain. They'll wide strafe. By that point, their aim is already set on somewhere else like Banana or Pillars. And by that point, Kusta's just got the position here. You can see a bit of an off angle to him in the open, and it works out wonderfully. 2 kills there, 3 in the round, a double from Steel as well, winning the 1v1, and James getting hyped as well. That's what you want to see. Ghost getting back into this game off the back of that eco win, and just starting off with a rifle round. Wardell's killed Daps in middle. This is a great start for Ghost, and it could severely shift the momentum of this map so far.
Oh, most definitely. That NRG economy is at breaking point. Their bank accounts look more dismal than mine. And just $100 between Cirque and Ethan. Cirque in the apartments with Breezy, and they tag the first. Breezy's there to pick it up. They get the info that he's close, but yeah, Neptune hears that rotation away and does not want to go re-peeking into it. So the trade there can't be found. We're into the 4-on-4. Only issue is right now, Fugly, the one man here at this B bomb site, really does have his work cut out for him. And well, I like those smokes, they completely block off the site. So they're going to try and wrap in a CT instead, try and pick these fights. But oh, they back off.
One thing you might see Ghost do at some point in this game is throw that very deep CT smoke, which allows you to wrap Ruins and go through a typical CT smoke, or just not even put it down. They do like going for very different approaches, and this has made NRG convinced that it's somewhat of a B take. They've dedicated 2 players towards it in a 4-on-4, sorry, and Fugly getting a kill will only reassert his worries. That being said, there's a rotation. Ethan's coming back towards A, and while that was the right call to make, Ghost, they're going back into B themselves. This is a mess for both teams. There's only 22 seconds left on the clock, and they've got to speed it up. Ethan finally realizing the error of his ways, and Fugly, he just needs the info. He doesn't need to take a fight. He can stop that bomb plant as Ethan stops across. The 1-for-1 coming through, but Steel, he doesn't realize that Fugly's just around the other side. Wardell has to hit that shot, and he steps up big to keep Ghost in this 2-on-2. While NRG, they run back round for the retake.
And Steel, he looks hungry to try and take one of these initial fights. NRG, are they ready for it? Breezy certainly is. So now Wardell, he's landed a couple of nice shots thus far. He's been looking good initially. Can he keep on going? Oh, he's fully blinded. He's found that. Now just the 1v1 of Wardell. He's feeling it. He's feeling it indeed. Ghost Gaming, their third locked in, and there's Wardell arriving in a very big way. 4 kills for him in that round. A crucial frag to keep Steel alive as he's plugging in the numbers on that bomb. And then winning it out in the 1v2 as well. Wardell, he's someone who hyped up a lot over in the NAC as being one of the next big AWPers. Kind of had a couple of lackluster performances thus far at this event, I think it's fair to say. Definitely hasn't lived up to what we've seen from him online and what we know he can deliver. But he's looking to show us a little bit of, what Wardell is cooking now in this game.
Whatever it is, it's delicious, Harry. Nice round from him, and even playing confident enough to chase down that final kill once he hears a smoke on the bomb. Doesn't want to play the risk with someone sticking the defuse. And now, well, the money's finally come back to haunt NRG, but they're looking like a couple of ghouls themselves. They've bought up into this round, Harry. Not content with just taking an eco, they want to give it a go to try and win the round, and that's fair enough. Ghost, though, picking up 2 in a row means that NRG, they could have brought up next round somewhat with about 4,400 if they full ecoed here, but fair enough. We are somewhat convinced, and they might catch out Ghost as a result. This is a fairly decent buy. You can see this on a lot of ecos nowadays where people just continually smoke off mid or banana and actually bring it down to the very last second situations where These pistols can be so impactful while Ghost try and get the bomb down, but it's fights in the apartments that will not work out. Neptune's ready for it. Even though he expected maybe armorless players, he's found two, and Cirque's done the same. Bounds out of there like a gazelle as he gets those first couple of kills in the apartments, and that puts us into a 3-on-3. But while that's great for NRG, 1-for-1s are fantastic on this kind of round, it is problematic because now they have one player on the B site and Ghost is just going to walk right in. It's all down to Fugly. If he can't get multiple kills here, this might just be a done round.
Yeah, not only the mad fragger on NRG, but he's been doing a fantastic job of locking down this B bomb site. He has to try and deliver once again, and oh, they're boosting over. Fugly doesn't know, but if he shoots now, Steel trying it. Yeah, it does spot him out. They do just watch the man slip back into CT. These rotations they're arriving, and Cirque's got himself a rifle. He's already on 2. He's been looking good. Throws that flash in for Fugly, and that nets them the 2v2 now. Ethan's up through Banana as well, so Ghost Gaming, they have to pick up the pace. They have to be very aware as this man can be coming in from behind, and they're not. Wardell still able to land it, but Cirque's brought it down to the 1v1, and now it's the clash of the Titans. The two AWPers going head-to-head, but only 20 seconds left. And Wardell's tag low. Cirque putting on a show. Always a showman is the Cirque. Stepping up.
Yeah, you could hear him even say it. He dropped that bomb through the smoke in the 2v2. Right when Ethan gets killed on the flank by Wardell's flick, Cirque shoots through the smoke and drops the bomb. That wins him the round. I'd love to see there's a replay of that, because this guy, if we think back to yesterday, he had some rounds where he wasn't really showing off with the AWP like he usually is. But we had, on Mirage especially, his rifle rounds were impeccable. He was, time after time, you know, winning clutches and getting big entries for his team. Such a versatile player, and proving it here up against Ghost. 7-3, NRG will win that force buy round, Harry. It definitely caught Ghost off guard.
Yeah, and it's Cirque really being the hero there. You even think about the frag that Fugly gets. Wouldn't have been possible if Cirque hadn't have thrown that flash to facilitate the peek close. So he has monumental impact in that round. Essentially, every frag that goes through is on the back of that one man. So
pretty much.
He's off to a good start. And this is already, by the way, shaping up to be a very, very intense series, because NRG, Cirque, he's showing up early on, right? We've seen some nice stuff from him. He's someone as well who hasn't really been living up to the performances we know he can have normally. Then you look over at Ghost, and it's a similar story for Wardell. Two of the real kind of heavyweights on these two teams, right? And that's what I'm excited about. We get to see that AWP duel while they're both playing lights out. Steel, though, fast up through Banana. This B-bomb site's already collapsed. Fugly and Ethan have both been dropped as Steel tears them limb from limb with the MAC-10. Daps is brought down to his knees, and suddenly we're into a 5-on-3. Ghost, they might go in with the reverse sweep in this one, and they certainly do. Yeah,
the big middle finger round coming out from the Ghost boys. They call the pause, they go right back in with a B-rush on SMGs. Their money was trash anyway, so they had to do that. Sub Rosa will kill 2 players on the A site trying to save their guns. And now, if Ghost are able to get those weapons, they're going to have big upgrades as well. You can see they've already scavenged some guns off that B site. Breezy will try and duck dive out of this round, but Wardell's starting to hunt, so got to be very, very cautious here. Ghost don't want to give away too many guns, considering they just lost to an eco themselves, but it means NRG, now they're in a very difficult position, and this is always more difficult for the CT side, because they have to decide, do we want to continue these force buy wars and buy up round this single FAMAS, or do we go, no, we're the better team, we'll just go down to rifles and get rid of them there. So let's see what NRG decide to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the awkward spot. Yeah, you imagine they do go for the force buy here, right? Breezy's going to be limited into the future, so's Ethan. Also, you know, usually it's the trend. If you win a force and you lose the next to a force, you just kind of keep forcing until the team wins 2 in a row. The one issue that you're going to have for NRG is you don't actually have the ability to reset Ghost here. At least you shouldn't, right? They managed to keep 5 players, or rather 4 players alive in that round, so... No, it was 5, wasn't it?
It was 5.
Yeah. So... money's looking fine right now for Ghost, which is maybe one of the reasons why, if you're NRG, you might have doted on the idea of going for this force initially. You weren't able to do any damage, so...
We even had that AWP brought up into this round. Dangerous considering what NRG are showing in these last couple with these close-range pistols. He flashes through smokes, but considering how well Wardell has been playing, we've already seen that so far, I'm not really against the idea. Triple short stack for NRG. They've got the apartments control as well. Pressuring B is Ghost, but they've been afforded this control round after round, Harry. They've been just given top banana. Not once have we seen NRG push down, and not that it's necessarily been necessary, but they've been giving a lot of leeway to Ghost to play their own game. And that is not a team that you want to allow to play their own game. It can be dangerous. Breezy mollied out at the back of the site. And Ghost setting up for what looks like just a standard B execute here. And this pre-rotation from Circuit could help, but again, it is only pistols by and large, apart from that one FAMAS.
Here comes his push, but Daps, he's really got all the information over towards that A-bomb site that is going to be this B play. This is allowed for the 3-man stack. Cirque's moved it up quickly, and oh, the pistol's going to be finding absolutely everyone. It's only Kusta left standing, and Kusta now in a 1v3. Pushing into the bomb site has a lot to do here, and there's a man up through Banana. That's Daps on that long flank. Cirque has been dispatched. Oh, Kusta, no, there's no way. How's he managed that? He's going to go ahead and take absolutely everyone. He digs deep. He locks in a 5th round for Ghost, and he saves them as he derails NRG. It's full speed ahead on the Ghost train.
That was 10 seconds left on the clock, Harry. They didn't need to fight. Obviously, when you get into that situation where the first one dies and the second one wants to repeat and then the third one wants to repeat, it makes sense because you're trying to trade that initial frag, but NRG could have waited. They could have held on. They could have just waited 5-10 seconds. Didn't need to peek. A bomb plant would be forced, and then you kill him when he's got his bombs in his hand. That's a guaranteed round for NRG if they play it safer, without a doubt. There's no way Kusta can win that, but yeah, that's an unbelievable clutch. Well played from Kusta to actually be able to get it done, and as a result, faces on NRG are not looking too happy, not too pleased. Breezy, especially after finding 2 kills with the solo FAMAS into that round, you would have thought surely that was NRG's to take, but Kusta, brilliant shots on the B-bomb site, and a 5th round for Ghost. They are keeping this close.
And I mean, now for NRG, it's just going to be a rain of players in through this Banana position. All 5 of them here. Steel leads the way. He's going to very easily be allowed to make the call. Yep, everyone's there.
See,
well, Waddell is just setting fire to the raid at this point as he sends them away from the Banana position. They have gone rotating back into this A-bomb side. On the other side of this smoke, Breezy's going to start to slip on in, but he has been spotted, and yet there shouldn't be any more happening in this round. Ghost should be picking up a 6, but indeed they will. 6-7. And what the recovery has been from Ghost. It was a very, very one-sided start in favor of NRG, right? They go, what, initially 6-1 up, and since then we've seen them manage 1 round here on their CT side. All these last couple on the rifles going the way of Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, they win that one crazy force buy round, and then you think surely they can follow up. Ghost do the same with a B rush on SMGs. And yeah, very close situation. Some spots that NRG certainly should have won, but Ghost have just come above and beyond of my expectation, considering, like you said, those first 7 rounds. Definitely bounced back. Waddell getting caught in the pit. He's going to be set alight. NRG, they've got their own AWP though, that's on Cirque. Sabrosa, he's getting flashed through the smoke. They're pushing down B, and I don't think that they realized he was already in position. Sabrosa getting a free kill, but there's the trade from the AWP that we have back towards this B site as well. Unfortunately, so for NRG, they've got 2 players left up on A, and Ghost are ready to go for the full execute. So this is where things could really heat up, and they will in the pit. The Molotov's spreading. Won't find anyone just yet because Daps is playing a crossfire on the site. He draws in the attention. The kill needs to come from Breezy right here, but Steel finds a double in the meantime. Just like that, this round is done, and it's going to be the 14th going the way of Ghost. 7-7 as Cirque begins to save.
I don't know what's changed for Ghost, but they're finding their footing here in a very, very big way, right? You take a look at this round. This is really NRG's chance to get back on top of things. It's not like they didn't have, you know, things going their way. You had 4 players over inside of that A-bomb site. You only had the 1 man over here at B. So effectively for Ghost, you're walking into that 5v4 and you're winning that very convincingly.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was off the back of, you know, we obviously see a lot of early triple B setups on this map because it's easy to just, you know, throw in all your utility, rotate off of B, and then have a normal 3-2 setup in favor of A. But after NRG lose Ethan running down Banana to Sabrosa, they obviously get the idea that, okay, Ghost want to pressure B. Fair enough. That's a fair idea to think, considering Sabrosa got flashed through the smoke to challenge Banana. But then Ghost just completely switched it up and fast play that A-bomb site before the second rotate can come in. And it's just the pace of Ghost, and these mid-round calls have been really, really smooth. 7-7 here. pressure is on. Ghost have had a ridiculous D side in these last few rounds, and NRG, they want to try and take one back for their own, move into the half of the favour, and that would still be fairly balanced, I would say.
Yeah, and I think for me, the interesting point of all of this thus far, right, let's focus on this because it's a much faster round. Oh, he didn't drive by. He's already gone past it. He's found himself too. Sabrosa trades, but Breezy and Fugly, there's just so many fire kills. Ghost Gaming, bunch of Mothmen running into the flames. Stay away from them. Wardell now going to go to try and 1v4 to win the last round of the half for Ghost Gaming. You don't fancy his chances, but
he wins these, Harry.
That's what you got to be worried about if you're NRG. You know, we've already seen him step up. It was a 4K in rounds prior that locked in one for Ghost, and a 4K that never really should have happened for Wardell. Someone that we so often hype up, and you know, you take a look at how he played in the online season. He was one of the reasons why Ghost found so much success. He was, you know, one of the stars, and he had fallen a little bit silent on the opening couple of days of this event. Now, in their elimination game, we're seeing him find his footing once again, and that's what we want to see. That's what Ghosts need if they want to go ahead and win this out. So he's up in the apartments. He's edging his way forward. Two players here. Cirque going to be the man in library, and that's a real worry if you're Wardell, because as he tries to deal with the man in the pit, if he takes too much time trying to dispatch the Breezy, Cirque can just peek wide and find him. And they're going to hear that scope. The information's been given up, 25 seconds. Cirque sees him, and NRG, they do manage to win out the half 8-7.
Yeah, I was a little worried with the setup there because NRG was split up and not able to trade, but as you said, the Molotov gives it away, the scope only clarifies it, and Cirque's able to shut it down. So, 8.5 for NRG on their CT side of their map pick. Do remember, Inferno was their choice. Ghost picking Cash as a second and the third, if needed, and very likely will be, is Mirage. Obviously, NRG looking good here, but Ghost, I think they surprised us both, especially with the level that not only NRG have been playing to this event, but you know, Ghost have certainly had their troubles. Look at that opening game up against Mousesports. Now, Mousesports played some brilliant CS, but it just didn't look like the Ghost we knew and loved. However, now seems to be a bit of retribution for these boys.
And that's what was so interesting for me heading into this. I mean, you can see Ghost right now, just quickly to address the scores at the doors. It's Breezy and Ethan leading the way for NRG. Over on the side of Ghost, you've got Kusta, Wardell, and Sabrosa. That's kind of the three-man core that we need to see stepping up within this squad for them to do well. We can see the head-to-head between Wardell and Cirque. Both of them, you know, very equal pegging, all things considered. Sniper purchase, both on the same, you know, they both had the AWP same amount of times. 11 kills there for Wardell, Cirque only on 6. So he's been getting the job done both on and off the AWP. That's one thing that we can say about him. What I was going to say for this Ghost roster, something that I was a fan of is, you know, Pimp kind of brought it up over on the desk, as you mentioned how for these guys, this is their major, right, in that sense. They don't play to attend the majors in the same way that a lot of teams do because they have Steel in this squad. So the big question for me is, as a team that is, for the most part, these maybe lesser experienced players on these big stages at this event in the elimination game, were they going to rise to the occasion or were they going to crack under the pressure? And right now, it certainly looks like they're keen on rising to the occasion after how they recovered that half.
Well, let's see if they can go the one step further, Harry. Still down a round as we go into the second half. A quick boost on B to allow for these players to hold for any CT aggression down the banana, but we're not going to be seeing Ghost test that portion of the map right now. Steel with a lot of utility. A nade is good in the back of the pit, because if he spots anyone in apartments, he can get some free damage off there. Or alternatively for the retake, as that's where it may be required. You can see NRG beginning to push up towards B. Triple setup here, but only 2 players contesting. So if these players fall back, that surprise is going to be the coffin man, Neptune, who's able to set up flashbangs to support his team, and he might need to do so now. Kusta's been dinked. Flash goes over the top, and they're blind. This allows Wardell to do some damage, but he's also been flashed by his team as well. Kusta making up for it in a big way, and 4 headshots out of nowhere from Kusta. It's going to leave Daps alone, and oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, now it's just one man remaining, the man who sees himself at the helm of this NRG squad, the brains behind the operation, now has to be the brawn as well. In a 1v3, it's Daps. He does have that Molotov still in hand, but might not be the most useful thing in this 1v3. Continues to sneak forward. The smoke is down at B, and Ghost Gaming leaving him on the cross. Oh, he only just gets by Daps. Very, very fortunate, but as he starts to tap in these numbers, that decision to go for the fake might betray him, but no, it might just give him the opportunity. They try to push on him. Daps is sticking it head down, and Steel's going to go ahead and pick it up. So in the clash of the brains, Steel wins it out. Ghost now tying things up 8-8.
Yeah, not much you can do there. You don't want to fake the bomb with 6 seconds left by any means. Daps had to go for it. And yeah, looking away, we've started to see more and more players do that, like spin when they're on the bomb, look away, you know, hide that head hitbox. It's very good if you're in a 1v1 with pistols and you run out of ammo. If you just turn around, obviously assuming your team, your enemy is whiffing hard here, like you are, considering you're having to reload in a 1v1. If you turn around and look towards the ground, you could easily get a reload in and make your head hitbox very hard to get. But Kusta, he loves a good head hitbox. He found 4 in that round, locking down Banana with some great supportive flashbangs by Neptune as well. So, Ghost Gaming 8-8 back in this one. Daps on the solo AK into the second round of the half, but that is all they can really muster apart from some utility.
Yeah, let's see if Daps is able to get anything done with this one solitary AK that has been brought up. They've only got that one smoke as well over on Ethan, so they're pretty limited in terms of what they can do actually when it comes to the execution in this round. You are just relying on Daps finding these openers, juggling the weapons that you get around. Spots the first man. Question really is are they ready for Sabrosa to be so deep down through Banana as he just sits pretty hidden away in the cubby? Curious decision there. The one smoke that they do have goes out toward the top of Banana. Presumably they might try and isolate this fight versus Sabrosa, maybe anticipating that there's a man down close, and that's why he's going to make the decision to drop this smoke, forces them to have to go walking on through it. There's 2 kills, and it's important. Sabrosa able to go to final 3. This round now should draw to a close unless Daps is able to go ahead and do something out of this world, which he's not. Goes now 9-8.
Yeah, perishing in the flames there, and Ghost now taking the lead for the first time in some time. They've even got a bit of a mixed buy. You can see the shotgun still here. We've got the SMGs. I mean, Ghost obviously now going to have to deal with the full brunt of NRG's purchase, assuming they'll go for it. Obviously, Daps will have lesser money because of that previous AK round buy. But everyone else is going to be just fine and dandy here for NRG. Daps taking a CZ, AKs on the likes. And now we had that AWP for the CT side as well, something that NRG cannot muster just yet. This could be a problem. It is up on the A site right now. Cirque and Daps getting heavily tagged down in Banana. And oh dear, that is horrendous. Double nade from Sabrosa. And what a horrible way to start off the buy round if you are NRG.
Really not quite how they envisioned this one beginning. Breezy. In the meantime, sneaking his way up through short. You can see Wardell is aware that they could be here, so I hope you don't have to worry about anyone there, Wardell. I'd be very concerned about, you know, still letting that slide by. Now holding down the angle here at short. Oh, now I need to tag on a Breezy. Still has to bail him out. Is it good to get that first man? But Fugly on the entries. Quick double, even going to go to pick himself up the AWP to try and play around with that. And now just tucks tail, drops down into the pit. Kusta, first man on the scene. Is good for 1, and now it's only Fugly left standing. Has to ace it and win this out into 1v3. Not happening as he does get found, and dispatched stuff pretty damn quickly by Sabrosa. So a 10th for Ghost, and that's you know, as you say, pretty gut-wrenching for NRG. Losing 2 players to the nade early on, definitely not ideal. All things considered, it's a decent recovery, a decent attempt at a round.
Yeah, I mean, strats go out the window once you lose that in terms of your initial game plan. You've got to have some crazy call, like just creep up on short and try and, you know, take down a player with surprise, and that's what NRG attempted. So Molotov did a lot of damage early on, as you can see here, and then the nade just, oh, that was the icing on the cake, Harry. Here it goes. Kaboom. They had nowhere to escape. That's really clever from Ghost. Essentially, what they've done is they've sectioned one portion of Banana that is free from Molotovs that the T's can stand in, and then naded that exact spot. They've conditioned NRG to walk into their utility, and that's a really strong way of getting early frags. Not just going for random utility nades down Banana and hoping something happens. And this is a very Ghost round, but fast play up through long is, well, going to be over before you know it. Ghost Gaming getting rid of the ecoing NRG players. That was actually really clean, though. Only losing 1 man, and NRG did put a little bit of money into it, but don't worry. It's another round, another day, another opportunity here for NRG. 11-8, and this is starting to get a bit out of control, considering it's their map pick.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, it's more so like the fashion as well in which it's happening, because it does feel like in a lot of these rounds, it's not down to, you know, the close 1v1s are not particularly tight. It just goes kind of running away with it more so than not. Or Dell even gets run boosted across. He's up here in the apartments very, very quick. Doesn't find anything from it.
Nice supportive nade though from his teammate to cut off the stairwell. It meant Wardell didn't get killed if he ran back towards a hallway or took time to get back out through the apartments.
That's one of the things I do like about watching this Ghost roster, right, is how they synergize together, how they play off of one another. That is kind of what we would expect, though, from a team, you know, led by a man like Steel. As he said, you know, we heard in that pre-game interview that he is a perfectionist. He does love to say, you know, it's not good enough. He does think that they should be playing some perfect methodical CS, not leaving anything up to chance. NRG, meanwhile, they leaving a little bit up to chance, not smoking off CT, instead just dry peeking this. They haven't had anyone see them just yet. Kusta, though, very tight angle to hold, and Ethan's skull will be, well, caved into 2 skulls. Or half, I guess, would be the better way. Kusta gonna try and do what he can from the back of the bomb site. Sadly, he is found straight away, but Steel, through the smoke, finds himself one. Not going to go barreling through that, instead waiting for Sabrosa and Wardell to get in a position on Banana. From here on in, Ghost, they can just play the numbers game. They can just trade this out. Breezy and Cirque, the pressure's on them.
But, I mean, if there were 2 men to step up to the pressure, these guys have just been the top performers of their team this game. Cirque holding down the ruins. That's an option for Steel to come in through if he wants to, but he'll probably come through the city spawn to try and reunite with his team, and there's going to need more than reuniting with Breezy hitting shots like that. 2 brilliant kills coming down towards Banana, and Steel has no idea where the second man even is. Doesn't matter, he won't get past the first. 4 kills for Breezy, and this is the danger inside of the B bomb site. A 2-on-3 being won by some of the star players for NRG, bringing them back into this round. Or back into this game, sorry. Their first round on the T side, Harry, it has been a long time overdue, but they've finally done it.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that they're all going to reunite there is if Steel conducted some sort of seance, because he immediately uses his 2 teammates down on Banana. Breezy just laying waste.
Great shots.
To Ghost. Yeah, definitely, right. That is the thing that locks in that round. Double AWP bought in for Ghost. Kusta going to be donning the other. I'm curious to see how they're going to opt to play, as Kusta currently holding over towards the top of Banana here.
Ooh. Bit of a gap. That smoke up top will be fading soon. So Kusta, he doesn't want to stay here because, as you can see, he doesn't know someone's already crossed logs. Plus, they could walk up very, very close from this position, as Ethan's going to try and do. Kusta's head spotted, and he'll hit the shot. Ethan was ready to go back in for the pre-fire, but Kusta repositioned and dropped down for the kill. Molotov to just make sure there's no one close up in Banana. That left and right side have been covered off by flames. As NRG, they'll give up on B. They'll turn their head and set their sights on that A bomb site. A minute on the clock, couple of bits of utility, and an entry will open things up.
Yeah, Fugly, you know, we always say not normally the man known for his fragging within this team. He usually does try and fit that more supportive role, but in this game now, he's been finding a lot of these impactful kills, and he's going to continue to give that. Steel holding his ground here inside of A. Kind of manage both down to the USP, not able to get the reload off in time, just hiding in this smoke right now, buying so much time for these rotations, and they still haven't found him. Steel does finally get mopped up. Neptune's good for 1, but yeah, everyone's already here for Ghost, and Steel just being a thorn in their side.
A thorn in their eye, more like. I mean, they had no idea where they were going. They were blind in the back of the site, running through smoke, shooting corners of pistols. And Harry, I think the most impressive part about that round was Steel managing to actually convert the AE1S to 2 kills. I've never seen anyone get 2 kills with 20 bullets in that gun. Honestly, awful. So I'm impressed that Steel makes it work.
Yeah, it's not smoke and mirrors, it's Steel and smokes. That only vaguely works. I kind of said it the wrong way.
I smoke and Steel.
Yeah, I almost said Steel and mirrors, and then I was like, nah, that's very wrong, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, 12-9. Something else is getting ruined is NRG's round count here. That's a reset after their first buy when they only kept 2 players alive. So say goodbye to your money, boys. No, you're not, Org's not cutting you. You've just been reset. It's 12 rounds here for Ghost. They're getting closer and closer to closing out their opposition's map pick, and that would be a huge victory here, Harry.
Oh, most definitely. Because, I mean, that's the thing with this Ghost roster, right? They love an anti-strat. They do love that. And, you know, that's why you can always feel pretty comfortable heading into their map choices. Normally, they're very well prepared for that. you know, the only kind of X factor they wanted that they don't have control over is where does their opponent take it, right? So you bet that when we head through to cash the map pick of Ghost, they're gonna have tricks up their sleeve. They're gonna have everything planned down to a T. Now the buys come in here for NRG, by the way. They don't have too much to work with, so they're really clutching at straws to find much. And Neptune, he gives absolutely nothing up. Just Ethan left standing in a 1v4. CZ, but it's going to take a miracle. And Kuster, he's not a fan of that. 13-9.
This is dominant.
It's worrying because NRG, they've got no money, right? So at this point, you just have to go ahead and give this 14th round to Ghost. You have to give that up.
Yeah, it's just looking desperate for NRG. You're just hoping for a big round where someone steps up. They run through a smoke, jumping around the corner. Neptune finds through with an SMG. The lack of head armor, really big problem there for NRG. Obviously wanting to save some money, Harry, but you know, it's not always, what do they say? You know, buy it cheap, buy it twice.
Yeah. I've never heard that, but that's good. And it sounds like it was a real saying. I don't think you just came up with that.
I might have got it wrong, but it's along those lines.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, Sabrosi, he loves a nade. Should consider maybe a full-time career in basketball at this point with the precision he's been throwing those out. 14-9 though, and for Ghost, this is monumental. You know, picking up their opponent's map would be a great start to this elimination series, but also, you know, if you go toe-to-toe with NRG, you kind of look at these two teams, and in a sense, Ghost almost mirroring the kind of uprising of NRG in the sense that, you know, you had Daps with this team cobbled together, Daps being, you know, the kind of seasoned IGL, the rest of the guys constructed around him, and it was a team that did very well in the Pro League to find a lot of their success, and then they went on from there. You look at Ghost, and they're mirroring that in the sense that you have Steel, he's kind of the old boy, the IGL behind this team, and then, you know, the lesser experienced players around him, and they've done the exact same. So it really is two teams from the same sort of upbringing in that sense, going head to head. And Ghost, they're the ones in the driver's seat right now.
Oh, look, another fast push through the smoke. Neptune's not ready for it this time. He looks away to try and hide from the flashbang, but there is no flash. It's going in dry, and boy, does that work out for NRG. Slippery in the spawn. They're behind enemy lines. Kuster, he's got to try and get something done to defend Banana, but Ethan's already going to be taking down Steel on that rotate. This has gone swimmingly for NRG. They essentially did what they tried to do in that last round with, obviously, the force buy up on long, but this time they actually had the weaponry for it, and Neptune was the first player to go down. Cirque even flicking onto the head of Kuster. And NRG, 10 rounds here on the T side after that. Wardell's just got to bunker down in the pit. I've definitely got to say, though, despite obviously this great round from NRG, you know, one of the problems certainly has been, you know, Ethan not stepping up to the level that we saw him yesterday. In that series up against MIBR that they brought to overtime on the third map, Ethan, he ended the best of three, 68-55, plus 14, the only positive player on his team, and with 89 ADR across that series. So a really good game. Currently, he's sitting 11-21. And in terms of opening kills, 3 and 6. Now that's a big difference considering he was, you know, finding frag after frag to open up rounds against the Brazilian-American mix. But that was a whole new day, and it might not matter after all because NRG have not given up just yet. A 10th round has been taken. And, you know, the fact that you take a look at that opening duel stat that you just brought up being 3 and 6, right? He's still trying to play that aggressive role. He's still trying to go for those big kind of opening plays, but he's just not finding them. He's getting beaten. And that can also be very, very harsh to you know, the confidence of someone like Ethan in that sense, right? He is like a young player. He's very much on the rise, has a lot of talent. There's no denying it. But if you're still trying to go with the sort of confidence that you're used to and you're constantly getting beat, it's very easy to get in your own head. So now, NRG, they've managed a 10th, they've managed to reach double digits, and they do at least have Ghost's economy at that breaking point. NRG, as a result of keeping so many players alive in the round prior, they're not in that save situation, so at least if they lose this, it's not GG. They can still buy up. They can still keep building these buys. But really, NRG, they have to turn this around here and now. You have to be finding this one if you want to build back into this game. You have to get that reset off. You have to start to find yourself in control of the money. Because Ghost, they've got this double AWP out once again, and it's been serving them well. And you can see the fear of Ghost of NRG doing the same thing once again on A. They've gone for that quad mid setup to try and, you know, run a crossfire. Kuster he will need one of those players to rotate as he gives up Banana. You don't want to be playing solo B at the back of the site without a teammate if you think NRG are going to execute. But they're going out through middle once again. Breezy, 2 huge entries. Neptune is going to have time to smoke off the middle, but the flashbang is so perfect from Fugly, and he's able to get up through short. He might not find the kill, but they still have a man advantage. Sub-Rose are on the site, somehow getting one, but there's the instant trade, and this is what NRG are so good at, just finding the trades. And when you already have a man advantage, that is smooth as can be. A 2-on-1, Kusta left with the AWP, and retake or not, NRG are in a great position.
Yeah, Kusta is just too far away to justify going for that. He can hold the AWP in the next round. It gives them something to work with. Ghost, they could even choose to invest a little bit into this one. Only really on players like Steel, maybe Sabrosa can go for a little bit extra. But NRG 11 of 14, they're not ready to give this one up just yet. And you know, crucially, last few rounds, it's been Breezy stepping up, rising to the occasion. That's kind of been the story throughout this game. So that is one thing that is good about this team. You know, even if Ethan is having a quiet game like he is right now, you do still have other players that can step up. That said, Ethan has always kind of struck me as being one of the more consistent forces within this team, so it is a worrying sign to see him struggling early on. You imagine, you know, Breezy's someone who can be a little bit hit and miss in that sense, usually is a strong performer, but can sometimes drop off the board. I think, you know, if you kind of see Breezy start to get in his own head a bit, start to fall off, that's where the problems are going to arise, because suddenly you're lacking 2 of your big stars. I haven't really seen a crazy amount from Cirque either. It does definitely feel like Wardell thus far has been one of the more controlling forces on the AWP along with Kusta, which is saying something considering Kusta's only the secondary AWP within the team of Ghost.
And even then, we don't always see him on that secondary AWP. Steel takes it from time to time. It's more fluid on Ghost than other teams typically are. Ethan, that's a great confidence booster. 2 kills up in the apartments. That AWP got picked off early from Cirque, and so, you know, we haven't seen many crazy rounds from Cirque, but he's had a couple of clutches. He's also just been consistent at finding kill or 2 every single round. He's definitely up there at the moment, but so is Steel on the box, up on top with 2 and a 3rd. Steel, how does he even get a chance to shoot again after that reload? I don't know, but that is just potentially one Ghost that came, unless Daps has something to say about it.
Yeah, he's missed to steal your round as he's got ahead and found himself 3. Only Daps left standing, and he's got a lot to do. Just under a minute left on the clock. Both players here. Kusta holding close with that Mag 7, and it's already devastated the NRG ranks. Daps didn't quite see him, but you bet that Kusta saw Daps crossing, and now first man falls. Oh, Kusta's going to catch a bullet in through the smoke into the 1v1, and one shot from the Mag 7 might be enough to end it. Peeks wide, but Daps is going to hold his own, and that'll be the round recovered by the IGL of NRG, leading by example, 12 to 14 now. There is a buy on the horizon for Ghost. NRG, they're able to go ahead and reinvest themselves, and the money's still looking fine, all things considered, for the T side.
That can certainly hurt the mentality of Ghost, losing a round like that after getting in such an advantageous position, but you do have to remember it was only an eco, it was a light investment with a shotgun and an AWP. Otherwise, everyone else was on pistols, so I mean, Ghost, they still get a lot of damage on.
And in situations like that, you know, you see Still get the first one, and then you kind of watch them just meandering one by one after the... well, it's not even them moving in one by one, it's Steel using that tiny little bit of cover that he has just to isolate the fights into 3 separate one-on-ones with the Mag 7, and that's where it's so strong.
The second player he killed even ran backwards towards the pit, like cleverly trying to distance himself from the Mag 7 so he doesn't get one shot, because if you're going to get one shot by Mag 7, there's not much you can do about that, but the best thing to do is just play at a range, and that's what they try and do, but somehow it still gets a one shot. Obviously, those pellets can just be super random on the gun, making it very, very worth the $1,700. For a bit of a surprise round, $1,800 rather, a bit of a surprise round. 14-12. NRG still in this game, as they've shown us in these last 3 rounds in a row. It was certainly getting out of control, but they've recovered well. They still have to go flawless so if they want to take this before overtime. Or take this at all, because Ghost, they still have this 2-round lead advantage. Flash in. Oh, Ghost was just setting up something on the B site. Now they're going to get caught out. Kusta catches them down 3 as they enter onto B. 2 men left up for NRG, and they're going to get that bomb down for the post plant. AWP on the retake. This should be Ghost, and that's just going to make it easy.
It's only Ethan, the top performer throughout this event for NRG, having a quiet game right now. We need to see that return to form, and he has managed to first. Still 2 more players coming your way, Ethan. He can't afford to slow things down. He's going to try and peek into this And push it up, Sabrosa leading the charge, Wardell alongside him. Ethan, he's going to go ahead and get all three as he clutches it out. He manages to get the job done. He might be a little bit quiet in the start, but he's finding his footing now. And there's the smiles, there's the fist bumps. Ethan finding his form once again, and that's what NRG need. It's at a crucial juncture in this game, denying map point the way of Ghost. And crucially as well, that's going to call this CT side economy into question now to boot. Ethan, it might have been a slow burner, it might have been a slow start, but if he's able to get back to form, start to relive some of the performances from yesterday, then this is not over just yet.
This is just a clutch NRG roster, and 2 rounds in a row now. Ghost have had a single player go and get 3 kills, massive advantage, and then it just been thrown, not thrown away necessarily, but just like picked up by a fantastic play from NRG. First it was Daps, now it's Ethan. Turk's had his moments. I mean, this is great to see from NRG, but certainly getting out of control for Ghost, as you say. The money is going to be the real problem. They've got to give away 14, Harry. They've got to bring it to 30 rounds minimum here for the first map of the series. And hey, the analysts predicted a 3-mapper. It's certainly looking to be the case if things continue as they have been so far. Pistols is going to be all that Ghost can buy. We've got those 5 smokes. Let's see if we see a delay play to those last 20, 30 seconds from Ghost. It's certainly doable in Inferno.
Most definitely. That's something you've been highlighting a lot. Is very typical of a team like Ghost is, you see them go for all these smokes, try and dwindle that clock down, try and force NRG to go for those very sudden, closing 20, 30 second last minute pushes into bomb sites. And that's why these pistols are just so strong. So you can't write Ghost out of this round just yet, and they have managed to slow down this early offensive into the top of mid by smoking off short. You can see it's halted the progress of NRG, albeit momentarily. It's only 1 smoke thrown. There's still 4 left up, so you've still got a lot of time you can burn off of this clock. You can make NRG feel very uncomfortable indeed. Especially because NRG, they know the risks are high, right? They don't want to risk throwing anything away to these pistols. It's a double-edged sword. The slower you are, the more effective these smokes get. There we go. There is like a little lip on that, which you can get caught on. It's very irritating, but Ethan, he manages to get up eventually.
This is actually a great way to get above these smokes that Ghost have been throwing, cut off this utility usage, and Daps is going to cut down Steel on the site. He doesn't realize they have double pit, but they'll only trade 1 for 2, and that's not enough. Ghost losing their players on A, and it's a retake man left to save the day, but frankly, Harry, I don't think the Ghosts are going to be able to get away with this one. It's NRG to find 14 rounds. Exits is the best call to make for Ghost. This is really going to come down to the wire. At least both teams are going to have that money for what could be the last couple of rounds of this map. There's no more issues when it comes down to an economy. Kusta, for a little scoreboard update, has been having a great game. 24 frags on him, sitting just above Sub-Rosa on 23, Steel on 20. And that's one of the things with this team. Everyone always seems to be so nearby each other. Oh, Neptune. He could do damage. He could make these players go down with the bomb. It's a minimal risk to him because he's only got 50-50. Just find a bit of damage. This bomb is going to be even more lethal, but it is at the back of the site, so you're going to need quite a lot of damage, if anything. And as you can see, they all survive with 50 HP at least. But yeah, as I was saying, Ghost, the thing is about this team is obviously you have stars of it, right? But it's great to see everyone kind of keeping top to bottom fairly close. It's usually the same case for both right now. There's no massive underperformance for either roster. And just like that, Harry, 14-14. We're reaching crunch time here on Inferno. The map pick of NRG. Elimination on the line here in Group B. And neither team wants to face the gauntlet.
Definitely not. And it got them back to the point now where we're all tied up. It seemed like this was Ghost Gaming's game to win. Oh, Kusta, yeah, almost sees him. You're very lucky to be alive there, Daps. But he will be, and that's important. So now as NRG turn their attention over here toward the A bomb site. Only 2 players here for Ghost. One of those being Wardell, who's currently holding off over here toward Long. He has Steel inside of this bomb site. He needs to be doing a great job of anchoring it down, but we need to see Wardell find something to take an edge here for this Ghost Gaming roster. Rotations are arriving, but Steel, he's got his work cut out for him here to try and buy time for these players on Banana to go ahead and start to play into this round. He does lose Wardell and Neptune. Still unnoticed, still hiding away and using these smokes. Gonna dodge the first couple of rounds that head on in after him, but from up above, oh no, Steel's actually found Ethan too, and he's bought so much time. Buckets of it, in fact. Finally, they deal with the point man. It's Kusta now in a 1v2, and he's been the star for Ghost in this map. There is no question. We need to see the stars keep on shining. The stars need to align for Ghost here if they want to pick this up. Cirque and Fugly have a crossfire set up. And Kusta's not going to go for it.
The money, that's the problem here for Ghost. NRG, they're going to be able to get 15 rounds. You know, Kusta realizes if they want to win that follow-up round, he needs that AWP, he needs that gun. Right now, it's overtime for Ghost. They're not even going to consider a victory in regulation as NRG are the first to reach 15. At one point in this game, Harry, I thought Ghost were going to close this one out in a nice, confident fashion. NRG have really been on the grind these last few rounds. This is now 6 in a row on this T side, considering it took them, well, they went 7-1 down in the second half, essentially. They got the 5th round and then got 3 against them. And that is such an unfortunate situation for Ghost. It does show the value, what we mentioned earlier, of Steel using the A1S in that site, right? If he's using the A4, they're going to kill him very, very quick. The difference being with those guns, not only is it silent, but the A1S doesn't show traces through smoke. And so it's great for going for these, you know, above smoke shots like Steel positioned in the site. And, you know, no one could actually find out his specific position. He played on the edge of that corner box, and so Ethan actually sprayed into the corner but didn't tag Steel. So there's definitely value there, for example, but right now, 15-14. Money for Ghost is starting to be a huge issue, and they've got to put everything they can into this last round. Luckily enough, it is the max loss bonus. It is that $3,400 with 1 AWP at least guaranteed. There's still a chance here for Ghost.
The fact that it's NRG to reach match point first, or map point rather, just seems unreal. You think about the fact that they've had to win 6 rounds consecutively just to claw it back to this point. Now it's them who sit on that finish line. Ghost Gaming, they're hot on the heels. They're chomping at the bit to get into this game. But Kusta, he's gone through the smoke. He took the fight out of Ethan and he's lost it. What a man to find as well if you're NRG. You take down the top performer on Ghost. Maybe a bit of a blunder to try and find an advantage for Ghost early on. Maybe feeling that pressure, feeling like he has to provide.
It was just more the way he went about it, right? He got shot while he was in the smoke. So to actually commit when you know there's a player on the angle is just dangerous. He had no support. I didn't see a flashbang go over the top. Wardell still got both of his on B. So yeah, not the best way to go for a man advantage against map point. You're this close to bringing it to overtime. Wardell's now going to have to step up. He's got the smoke down at his feet. NRG going for the execute, but Ghost are so committed to A right now. They have 3 players there. If NRG find this entry and Wardell doesn't get a kill, it might just be GG.
Yeah, all the pressure's on his shoulders right now. Wardell has so much to do. He's going to get Molotov'd out, brought down low, and the fire is there to finish him. 3 players left up, Steel, Neptune, and Sabrosa. The A-team, as they all come rotating in. Fugly will be tagged down low. Will he spot all 3 players here, though? Because that's going to give NRG a lot of information to work with. He hears the footsteps. Cirque going to be hightailing it out of there. 3 on 4, and Ghost, they've got to work overtime if they want to get back into this one. Breezy finding the first man, has a crossfire set up now with Ethan from CT, and what a deadly crossfire to go walking into if you're Ghost. There should be no way back into this, and the Ghost train will get derailed. It's NRG picking up map number 1 here on Inferno. They win out their map pick from what was a 14-10 scoreline in favor of Ghost Gaming. NRG managing to close it out in 16-14 fashion.
That's got to hurt if you're Ghost. You had such a lead, you had everything going for you, and then a couple of just missed rounds. Those 3-on-1s won by the likes of NRG twice in a row, back-to-back, to try and pull them into this lead position. And yeah, there were some highlight plays from both teams, but that's not going to be enough for Ghost. That being said, it was NRG's map pick. We head over to Ghost on Cash up next. But first, a quick break, and then the analyst desk. Join us in a sec.